Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I have some very sad news today to share. I broke my book buying ban. We all knew it was gonna happen. I mean, if you want to be technical about it, technically I broke it as soon as I signed up for the Illumicrate and Owlcrate subscriptions. So did I ever really commit to it in the first place is the question. But I mean, like, I had a good run. Like, January, I don't think I bought a single book. And then, like, halfway through February, I broke. But, like, I can explain. I can explain myself. So, I had, like, money on my loyalty card for Waterstones. So a lot of these books were purchased with that. So does it even count? Technically, I didn't spend any money on the books. So do they even count as breaking my book buying ban? Does it even count? Does it even count? A lot of you are probably going to say yes, and like, I guess it does count. But only 2 of these books were actually purchased with my money, and there's a story there. So like, we'll just get straight into it. So this first one, this was a pre-order, guys, okay? So doesn't count as breaking my buying ban, okay? Doesn't count. But it's a fake, oh, the back of that's a bit damaged. It's a fake, it's a Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. Yeah, Danielle L. Jensen. So it's the Saga of the Unfated, book 1. And guys, look how pretty, sprayed edges, and wait for it. Look at the foiled cover underneath the dust jacket. Like, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? How could I not buy it? How could I not? How could I not? I literally bought it for that. I don't even know what it's about. Should we read the blurb together? First time reading the blurb. Actually, no, I think I remember. Actually, maybe I didn't. I don't know. Anyway, so the little tagline. A woman blessed by the gods battles to unite a nation under a power-hungry king while fighting her growing desire for his fiery son. In this Norse-inspired fantasy romance. So, bound in an unwanted marriage, Freya, oh my god, Freya, story time. The name Freya is like my ultimate baby girl name, because I was meant to be called Freya. My mum really wanted to call me Freya, and basically everyone else said no. But my favourite book as a kid was this one right here. It's called Can You Catch a Mermaid? And the girl in it is called Freya. And I was obsessed with that book as a kid. And like the name Freya. So basically when I have a daughter, she's going to be called Freya. Long story short, every time there's a character named Freya, I'm here for it. Long story short, basically. Yeah, anyway. So Freya spends her days gutting fish, but dreams of becoming a warrior and of putting an axe in her boorish husband's back. Slay. Oh my gosh, I can't click with this hand, but I'm kind of hearing it. Sorry, anyway. Freya's dreams abruptly become reality when her husband betrays her to the region's Jarl. Like, I don't know what that means. Landing her in a fight to the death against his son, Bjorn? Is that how you say it? 'Cause you know there's like Bjork, like that singer, and I think that's how that's spelled. Bjorn, or is it just Bjorn? I don't know. Oh my gosh, if you're like from like is it like Norway or like, you know, like that kind of region of the world where they have names like this, please tell me how to pronounce it. Thank you. To survive, Freya is forced to reveal her deepest secret. She possesses a drop of a goddess's blood. Ah, yeah, no, I do remember this. Which makes her a shield maiden with magic capable of repelling any attack. And it's been foretold that such magic will unite the fractured nation of Skaland beneath the one who controls the shield maiden's fate. Believing he's destined to rule Skaland as king, the fanatical Jarl binds Freya with a blood oath and orders Bjorn to protect her from their enemies. Desperate to prove her strength, Freya must train to fight and learn to control her magic, all while facing perilous tests set by the gods. The greatest test of all, however, may be resisting her forbidden attraction to Bjorn. If Freya succumbs to her lust for the charming and fierce warrior, she risks not only her own destiny, but the fate of all the people she has sworn to protect. Stunning. So yeah, that was a pre-order. So that doesn't even count as breaking my ban. It doesn't count. Okay, next up, all of these, the next 4 books, were purchased with money from my Plus card, my loyalty card from Waterstones. So again, I didn't spend the money, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. So first up, if you're a book talk girly or guy, then you've probably seen Powerless by Lauren Roberts bopping about. This is the exclusive edition with the sprayed edges. It's been on my list for like a while and I just never bought it. And then this showed up at work. So I was like, yeah, I'll buy it today. So yeah, when the next one comes out, I will also be purchasing the sprayed edges edition. Because they've got to match, guys. If you know, you know. Like, the books in the series have to match. Like, if you get it, you get it. Yeah, I don't even quite remember what this was about. Actually, no idea. I think it's giving kind of like Hunger Games-ish, I think. The elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just that. Banished from the kingdom? That's so rude. And shunned from society. What, just because they're not magical? Oh my god, so rude. So rude. No one knows this better than... Payden? Payden Grey, that's how we're saying it. An ordinary posing as a psychic to blend in with the elites. Ooh. When she unexpectedly saves one of Isla's? Ilyas? That's the name of the kingdom? I don't know how you say it. Princes. Kai Aza, she's thrown into the purging trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elite's power. Okay, yeah, I do remember this book. If the trials and the opponents within them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will if he discovers what Payden is. Completely ordinary. Ew. So I've heard mostly good things about this. I did see someone say that they really struggled to get into it and like they were actually gonna like DNF it until they started like tandem reading it with the audiobook, and that helped them get into it. I'm hoping I won't have that problem, but if I do, then there's a way I can always do the audiobook, physical book tandem read kind of thing. So yeah, that's Powerless. Oh, she's stunning, isn't she? Next up is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. So this is Miss Hazelwood's latest book. It's a fantasy romance. I think it's werewolves and vampires, I think. Yeah, so little Miss Ali taking a dive into the fantasy genre. Because if you don't know, Ali Hazelwood normally writes like about women in STEM. Like her first 3 novels and her 3 novellas were all about women in the STEM world. So yeah, very different from her is this one. So it's about some Misery is their first name. Misery Lark, the only daughter of the most powerful vampire with a Y, councilman of the Southwest, is an outcast again. Her days of living in anonymity among the humans are over. She has been called upon, sorry, I don't know why I did such a dramatic pause. She has been called upon to uphold an historic peacekeeping alliance between the vampires and their mortal enemies, the Wares, and sees little choice but to surrender herself in the exchange. Again. Wares are ruthless and unpredictable, and their alpha, Lo Morland, is no exception. He rules his pack with absolute authority, but not without justice, and unlike the Vampire Council, not without feeling. It's clear from the way he tracks Misery's every movement that he doesn't trust her. If only he knew how right he was. Because Misery has her own reasons to agree to this marriage of convenience, and reasons that have nothing to do with politics or alliances, and everything to do with the only thing she's ever cared about. And she's willing to do whatever it takes to get back what's hers, even if it means a life alone in Were territory. Alone with the wolf. I've heard that this is weird. I have a co-worker, I have 2 co-workers that have read it, And when they were talking to me about it the other day, and she was like, it's weird. Like, it's weird. And like, she's read some weird stuff. So if she's saying it's weird, it's weird. It sounds weird. Like, the blurb isn't giving. I'm gonna be honest. See, this is the problem with having auto-buy authors, because they're just, every time they come up with a book, you don't even read the blurb to see if you'll be into it. You're like, yep, buy. I'm gonna buy that. And then you buy it and you read the blurb and you're like, maybe not. I don't know. I've heard it's like not bad, but it's not her best. It's not great. Is the general consensus that I've heard. Now we have The Phone Box at the Edge of the World. Guys, look. It's just so beautiful. Are you kidding me? Like, it's stunning. It's stunning. And it sounds really beautiful. I think this novel's going to make me cry, I can't lie. Let me just read you what it's about. So literally the tagline is, we all have something to tell those we have lost. That's like, that line alone is actually going to make me cry right now. I kid you not. I nearly cried yesterday, actually. Fun fact. Fun fact about me, I nearly cried yesterday. Okay. No, not yesterday, day before yesterday. Anyway. Ignore my mental breakdown, let's carry on. On a windy hill in Japan, in a garden overlooking the sea, stands a disused phone box. For years, people have travelled to visit the phone box, to pick up the receiver and speak into the wind, to pass their messages to loved ones no longer with us. When Yu loses her mother and daughter in the tsunami, she wonders how she'll carry on. One day she hears of the phone box and decides to make her own pilgrimage there to speak to the people she loved the most. But when you have lost everything, the right words can be the hardest thing to find. When Yu meets Takeshi, a bereaved husband whose own daughter has stopped talking in the wake of their loss, what happens next will warm your heart even when it feels as though it is breaking. So I feel like it's gonna be sad, and I think I'm gonna cry, but I'm actually very excited. I feel like it's gonna be very beautiful. Like, I feel like this is, yeah. I feel like it's gonna get me in my feels. But I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited for that. And apparently it's inspired by a true story as well. So I think maybe this phone box might be an actual thing in Japan, maybe. I've not heard of it, but if you know, let me know. So yeah, I feel like that really brought my mood and the energy of the video down. Because like, I haven't even read it yet and it's making me sad. But I'm very excited. Very excited. And now we have A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But guys, so this is stunning, right? And then look! Look at the sprayed edges! Gagged. I'm gagged. It's just... I love when sprayed edges aren't just a colour. Like, I love when there's a design. It's just so pretty. And it like matches, it's like smoke, and then it's like smoke. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. So pretty. So pretty. So pretty. So this has recently come out and has been blowing up. It was a New York Times bestseller very quickly. Was it New York Times or was it? I don't remember. But it's a debut, I believe, and it took off. So slay for Miss Gurley, because her career is now set, because this book has absolutely taken off. I'm so happy for her. We love it when debut authors just knock it out the park. So yeah, anyway. Let's read the blurb. Arthi Casimir is a criminal mastermind and a collector of secrets. Her prestigious tea room transforms into an illegal bloodhouse by night, catering to the vampires feared by society. But when the tea room and its secrets come under threat, Arthi must lead a gang of outcasts in a high-stakes heist to the sinister vampire underworld. But even as unexpected romances blossom, Arthi realises that not everyone in her ragtag crew is on her side, and she soon finds herself in the midst of a conspiracy that will threaten the world as she knows it. Dark, action-packed and swoon-worthy, A Tempest of Tea is teeming with romance and revenge, led by an orphan girl willing to do whatever it takes to save her self-made kingdom. And yeah, apparently it's really good. I will be honest, I did just buy it because of this. Not gonna lie. I did do that. But I also, like, I'd heard of it, so, like, I saw it. I was like, oh, I've heard of that. And I picked up and I was like, must buy. And so I bought. But I bought with the money from my Plus card, so technically I didn't break my book buying ban. Okay, now we're on to the books that I did technically break my book buying ban for. Technically. I technically did. So the first one that I broke my ban for was Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. And do you know what? I'm so glad I did, because I really enjoyed reading this book. If you want to see my review, it is on my Instagram. Because it was the F of my A to Z challenge. I don't know if you've noticed, but if you're a long time subscriber of mine, you may have noticed that I'm not doing, at the end of the month, I'm not making videos of all the books that I have read. And that is because I'm doing an A to Z reading challenge where, like, the title of the books go A to Z. And once I finish that, I want to make a big video reviewing all the books from the challenge. So until I finish that challenge, I'm not doing the monthly reviews, but I'm still reviewing the books as I read them over on my Instagram. So if you want to see the reviews, go over to my Instagram. Carrying on. So yeah, this is Tessa Bailey's latest novel. It's the first one in her new sports romance series. Everyone's into sports romance now. I think it's because of Icebreaker. Now everyone wants to write a sports romance. So Miss Tessa's getting in on the action. She's getting in on the action. I don't want to talk about this too much because it's already all on my Instagram. I don't want to be repeating myself. So if you want to see my, in my opinion, incredibly artistic photos, I'll put one here so you can see. Ooh. I know. Then head over to my Instagram. Now, the next two books, really cute story. So I was with my boyfriend, we were in town, and I was like, can we go to Waterstones? And he was like, only to look. And I was like, I don't want to go anymore. I don't want to go. I was being all like grumpy. And then he was like, okay, do you know what? This was like 10 minutes later, and he was like, okay, do you know what? Because you've been so good at saving money and like not buying books, you can get 2 books. And I like lost my mind. Like I was like, oh my god, you do love me. So I bought 2 books. And it's his mistake because he didn't specify whether it was 2 paperbacks or if I could get hardbacks. So I got a hardback. I tried to be cheeky and I was like, can I get 4? And he was like, no, 2. I was like, fine. And I even asked him, do they have to be paperbacks? And he was like, no. And I think that's because he doesn't know the difference between a hardback and a paperback. I feel like he probably just doesn't know. And that's why he didn't say anything. But probably now he'll watch this and he'll know. And then he'll tell me in the future that I cannot get a hardback. But anyway, the first one is The Good Part by Sophie Cousins. I think that's how you would say her name. And I was really intrigued by this. This was like face out on the shelf. And I was just really intrigued because I'm like, do you know what? Yes, can relate. I have wished that I could just skip to like The Good Part. So yeah, I shall read you the blurb. So, what if you could fast forward to your happy ever after? Lucy Young is exhausted. She's tired of dating, sick of being on the bottom rung at work, and done with flatmates who never buy loo roll. She's ready to skip to the good part of her life where she's met her person, nailed her career, and isn't living off noodles. Would you risk missing the messy in-between? One night she stumbles upon a wishing machine and asks to be in her own future. So when she wakes up to a handsome man, a ring on her finger, a high-powered job, and 2 perfect children, Lucy can't believe it's real, especially when she looks in the mirror and sees her own 40-something face. As Lucy begins to fall head over heels for her new life, she realises that along with the good part, there are harder surprises too. Lucy has to decide, does she want to go back to being the girl she once was, or is the good part bright enough to stay in? And I just think this is such an interesting concept because, I mean, I know I can relate, and I feel like probably a lot of people can relate as well. Is that, like, you're just sick of being, like, at the start, and you just like, oh, I just want to skip to where I've got, like, my dream house, like, I'm with my dream partner, living my dream life, like, you know, really setting a career, making all the money, you know, like, just wherever you want to be in life, you want to skip to, like, just being there. And yeah, I just think it's such an interesting concept to write a book that about a woman who, like, has skipped to the good part. And yeah, I can't wait to read it, to be honest. I'm really excited because I just think it'll be really interesting. It'll probably give me, like, a lot of things to think about, because it's true, like, if you just skip ahead to, like, where you're already married and you got the kids, you got the house, you got the dog, like, whatever, it's just like, oh yeah, but, like, you missed all the stuff leading up to that. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be an interesting read. I'm really excited about this one. And now, finally, I bought Flawless by Elsie Silver. She's been bopping around on, like, Bookstagram and BookTok for, like, a really long time. I think she's always been very popular. Her little cowboy romance series. And I've been wanting to get into it for a while, and then when my boyfriend said I could buy 2 books, I was just walking around and then I saw that they had, I think they maybe only had this one, or they had a couple, I don't remember. But I was like, do you know what, I'm gonna get her today. So yeah, I'm very excited to get into Elsie Silver. Can't lie. Look, it's just so pretty. I love the aesthetic. Like, her whole series is like this similar aesthetic. So excited. And again, I've not read this blurb. I just knew I wanted her series. I believe this is the first one. So let's read the blurb for the first time together, shall we? The rules were simple. Keep my hands off his daughter. Oh, I'm so into it already. But now I'm stuck with her. There's only one bed. Oh my god, that's my favourite trope. I love it when there's only one bed. I love it. I just love it. As soon as characters walk into a room and they're like, oh shit, there's one bed, I'm like, yes! Sign me up. And, well, rules are made to be broken. I want to read this now. I'm the golden boy of professional bull riding. Are you now? Or at least I was until it all blew up in my face. Now my agent says I have to clean up my image, so I'm stuck with his daughter for the rest of the season as my full-time supervision. But I don't need a goddamn babysitter, especially one with skin-tight jeans. Okay guys, here's the thing. My niece watches my videos and this is not a blurb appropriate for a child. Anyway. Yes, skin-tight jeans and a mouth she can't stop running. A mouth I can't stop thinking about. She says this means nothing. I say this means everything. Oh my gosh, he falls first. She says there are boundaries we shouldn't cross, that my reputation can't take any more hits, and neither can her damaged heart. I say I'm going to steal it anyway. Oh my gosh, he falls first. There's only one bet. Exciting. Exciting times. But yeah, that's it. That's my little book haul. It's been a while since I've done one. Because, like, if you follow my Instagram, you know that, like, some of my reviews I put at the end, like, disclaimer, I got sent this book for free through my job. So I have acquired way more books recently than just these ones, but I'm not sure what the rules are when it comes to, like, sharing ARC copies, unless it's, like, for review purposes. I don't really know. So I thought I'd just wait and acquire a sizable stack that I've purchased rather than potentially get myself in trouble. So yeah, that is that. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what videos you want to see from me. I'm not, like, stuck with ideas. Like, I've got ideas, but, like, especially, like, if I want to try and start uploading twice a week, like, the ideas are gonna get used and they're gonna be gone. So, like, trying to get ahead of the game. If you give me ideas now, then, like, by the time, because I've planned out my video, so by the time the plan finishes, I should have already had ideas from you guys to, you know, does that make sense? Just help a girl out, okay? Follow my Instagram, follow my TikTok, subscribe if you haven't already, give me some video ideas if you are so inclined, and yeah, that is it. Goodbye. See you next time. Mwah.